me being an artist is to be free and to be able to change what it's called or anything. It doesn't matter so much if it's a pencil drawing or a virtual reality. The thing is, does it take you away? That's the only thing I care about. The book I wrote, All the Things I Lost in the Flood, began as a record of performances, and now I'm going to perform the book. So that's ridiculous. It's also about loss and what it is, and what happens when you lose something. And what stories are, why we tell them, why we use them. Like here at a music festival, what's the story of this festival? Why are these people here? What do they have to do with each other? Reality is getting quite fractured now that we live so much in another zone of information, on an information level. And that's one of the things that this festival is about. How does music live in that zone? How do you hear it in that zone? How do you play it in that zone and communicate with each other?
I'm interested in using traditional forms. I don't want to change that too much. So I work with custom-built electronic circuit boards, but the music is still scored in a very traditional way. And I'm creating drawings made by machines, but they're still drawings. We're doing many of my works here across different media. 3 performances, works of mine for acoustic instrumentation along with electronics. And then I'm doing some solo electronic performances. And we also have an exhibition of my visual art, the drawing machines.
I just came from a rehearsal of a quartet. And it's a work called Sol. And it's something that I wrote for my teacher, Sol LeWitt. And I was looking at these, let's say, drawings, and I said, these really look like music scores. Could I use them for a quartet? And he said, sure. He was a very sweet guy. So I made a quartet, and then this was in the 70s. I think that was last year. I thought, I'd like to record this again with a real quartet, because I was just playing all the parts myself, and it didn't sound that good. We're going to do it that way here with the Grote Kerk quartet, and they're fantastic. They have this really great energy. So we're going to play that with a mirror ball, and people are just like lie down on the floor with pillows.
I've never done something like this before, presenting so many different sides of the work in just 3 days. And I really like that. I like that people will get to experience, hopefully, the connection between these works. Because for me, they're very connected. Active Field is for 10 violins and 10 speakers. The festival organized 10 string players to play in Active Field, and we rehearsed here. Surface Image is a piece that Vicky Chow commissioned. She's an amazing pianist. We're doing that in the Electricity Factory here, and it's piano with 40 speakers.
My presentation is called What Does It Mean to Be Underground in 2018? And it's looking at various underground artists and scenes and how they're doing countercultural stuff today. I was trying to reimagine what DIY meant, what underground music meant, what it meant to be political. I'm really interested in the way that people create virtual collectives, virtual scenes, and also the idea of one's identity, playing around with one's identity online. Quantum natives, I'm a big fan of. I'm really interested in the way that they mix together a certain digital psychedelia.
This is a real unlinear piece. Things can turn on and off. Each element is kind of mashed a little bit on the edges. It was a collective piece. The visual side of things is that we're actually in a replication of Kozo Theatre. On Slack, we're all together online, and it's just simply a case where all the artists I've not met.
Telegraph music is a collaborative improvisation. The the perception of the input and the rhythms is so different depending on how you're trained. What I see as dots and dashes and what I hear as rhythm might be a word.
For me, it's just about using, I guess, my practice as a way to think through the conditions that I'm in. I try to think more in terms of like a larger social context.
I took part in the discourse program, Sense of Self, and I presented a performative lecture titled On Selfhood. I'm looking into the quantified self in terms of data.
The great thing about festivals, of course, is that people come to them and they are in the same place. I love watching people or listening to them looking for something. It's great fun when you find it.
Death hath reared himself a throne.